guys, today we will be talking about the digestive system. This presentation is by Sai Prudhvinath Vandanapu. A little about me. I go to Elizabeth Lane Elementary School and I am studying 5th grade. I am 10 years old. People love to call me as Sai. What are we going to discuss today in this presentation? What is the digestive system? What are the names of our teeth that we chew with? And what is saliva and where does it come from, or what is the producer of saliva exactly? What happens to food when they are being eaten? How does bolus travel through the esophagus? What are the parts or the elements of the digestive system? What is exactly the functionality of the digestive system, or how food travels through the digestive system? What happens to waste and how is it eliminated out of our body? What are some good habits to follow to keep your digestive system healthy and conductive? What some fun facts about the digestive system? Here is a quick look at how the digestive system looks. You see, this long pipe is called the esophagus. What is the digestive system? You see, I placed a photo here that shows the digestive system. This system is a system that helps the body to get the energy it needs. Well, think about it. How do we get energy? We eat food to get energy. Well, how do we get the nutrients out of that food? Well, we get the nutrients from our food because of the digestive system. What is the place where the stomach and other parts are being habituated? Well, you see, this picture shows the stomach and the liver and the small intestine and the big intestine, large intestine. These are all organs that play a big role in the digestive system. And where the stomach and the other organs are placed are in the digestive system. The digestive system is also the entrance for food to enter the stomach. Well, there's another one also. There's a long pipe called the esophagus. The digestive system is also the reason why waste is jettisoned out of the human body. When I mean jettisoned, I mean eliminated. The digestive system is a very cosmic process. You see, this looks a very big process, right? Well, today we're going to walk through the digestive system process. What are the names of your teeth that we chew with? Well, in the first place, why do we need teeth? Well, we need teeth because we need to chew and we need to talk fluently with the help of the tongue and teeth. We also have 4 types of teeth we are going to be discussing today. We have molars, incisors, cuspids, bicuspids. Well, you see in this picture, molars are the back teeth. Then we have in the front, we have incisors. Incisors are very sharp teeth. Well, think about it. Why do we need sharp things? Well, we need to have sharp things to cut down big objects into small things. That is exactly the role for incisors. Next to the incisors is the cuspids. Cuspids are for mashing. And we have our bicuspids. Bicuspids have the same role as incisors. Instead, they are laid out in front. A note I wanted to inform you is that these names of the teeth we just discussed today are the same for the bottom set of teeth. What is saliva and where does it come from? Saliva is a very watery liquid substance that is made of pipette pipette drops of other chemicals. When I mean pipette drops, it is a scientific tool to make very, very small amounts. Some people's hypotheses are that saliva is from gums of teeth. Well, I don't disagree with that, but unfortunately they're half correct. Because beneath the gums there are glands. As you see here in this picture, there are glands, right? These glands have a specific name. You see, this one beneath the gums is called the sublingual gland. And next to that is the submandibular gland. And the big one we see right here is called a parotid gland. What happens to food when they're being eaten? You see, I placed the diagram. When food is eaten with the teeth, they are chewed thoroughly because they cannot be swallowed in one gulp. You see, there's the esophagus, right? The esophagus gets choked up right here. Instead, the teeth and the tongue and saliva turn them into balls of food. You see, one ball of food is called a bolus. You see this green ball, that is one bolus. The bolus is mixed with small amounts of saliva, and the tongue rolls the processed food into balls. Well, think about the bolus as a big rubber band ball. You would glue things up to stick it in place, right? Then, think about saliva as the glue and the tongue as a clay, the tongue as your hands, and think about teeth as the tool to place it into a flat surface. When you mix these things up, you get a ball using small amounts of glue and your hands, right? That is the same process in our digestive system. Well, how does bolus travel through the esophagus? You see here, this pink pipe is the esophagus, and these are the muscles that are pushing it down. When the bolus travels down through the esophagus, there are muscles that pull bolus down to the stomach. Because you see this opening right here, that is where the bolus gets into the stomach. Well, of course, the bolus doesn't just roll into the esophagus like a barrel that goes down the Niagara Falls, because then our pharynx would be really, really wide. Instead, smooth muscles contract behind bolus to prey. Peristaltic movement comprises relaxation of circular smooth muscles, then their contraction behind the chewed material to keep it from moving backward, then longitudinal contraction to push it forward to prevent it from being squeezed back into the mouth for vomit. Did you know that earthworms use a similar mechanism to drive their locomotion like a process of peristalsis? Well, you see this process that muscles of boluses are being pushed into the stomach, right? This process is called peristalsis. What are the parts of the digestive system? You see, I placed a big diagram that shows how the digestive system looks. Well, first up here, there is going to be a mouth that we chew food and turn them into boluses. Then from the bolus, they enter the esophagus. From the esophagus, there are muscles I was talking about, right? The muscles push that bolus into the stomach. Well, before the esophagus, there's a neck, right? That neck is called the pharynx or the throat. Then you see this big sac, this is the stomach. You see this big orange jumbly? That is the small intestine. It is very big. There are 3 parts in the small intestine. There is the duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Then the right connected to the small intestine is the gastrointestinal tract. From there, the processed food goes to the large intestine, or known as colon or bowl. The large intestine has 4 parts: ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon. Then connected to the large intestine, there is the rectum you see here, right? This is the beginning of the large intestine, or the ascending colon. Then right connected you see rectum. From there, next to it is the anus. Well, there's also liver, and what is this pear shape? You're probably wondering. This red big organ is called the liver, and you see this green pear shape, that is the gallbladder, and you see here, that is the anus. What is the functionality of the digestive system? Well, first, when we're chewing food, we chew them with our mouth. When we are chewing food, we first flatten them out, right? Then the tongue and saliva work together to make them into balls. Together they make the factory of boluses. And you see here, that is where bolus factory is. Then from the goes round the pharynx, which is basically the throat, and down the esophagus, where the muscles push it down to the stomach. That is why it's called the entrance tube to the stomach. Well, there is also gastric acid that is melting that processed food into a very liquidy form. That is chyme. And chyme has a scientific name that scientists have made, which is called thymus. Well, I just told you what gastric acid is, right? Then the role of gastric acid is to melt that processed food into a liquid called chyme. So when this chyme liquid goes through the small intestine, the first part of the small intestine, called the duodenum, breaks down the food even more. Then the other 2 parts, the jejunum and ileum, get the nutrients out of it. The liver, pancreas work together to get that nutrients out of the chyme. Well, the liver categorizes them. First, the fats, proteins, carbohydrates, calcium, and vitamins, and etc. Then it goes through the large intestine, and then it is secreted a bile by the gallbladder. Well, what is the process of it exactly? That is what we will be learning in the next slide. Well, here's a better way to say, because this is a very realistic model, but it only shows the first part. So here's the tongue, and here are the teeth. First, the tongue and the salivary glands and the teeth work together and make boluses that go down to the esophagus. What happens to waste? When food is categorized by the liver and pancreas, there is excess chyme, right? The excess chyme is then secreted bile by the gallbladder. The chyme travels to the excess chyme travels to the colon. Then the chyme from the colon, it travels through the rectum and to the anus. From there is a message that is given to the brain. Well, what is that message? Well, think about it. When you think about waste, you mean like getting out of the body, right? The message to the brain is basically it's either bathroom break or bowel movement. Some good habits to follow to keep your digestive system healthy and conductive. I prefer do exercise every day and eat a high fiber diet because there are many nutrients in high fiber diets. Then what happens to many nutrients food like high fiber diets is that the nutrients out of them will be stored in your body and give you lot of energy. And stay hydrated. Okay, I want to talk about this for a little. When I mean stay hydrated, I don't mean drink cold water. Because your gastric acid may not take it. But I do not say that you should not drink cold water in the summer because you need it. I mean in winter seasons or cold seasons. And skip the bad habits like smoking, excessive caffeine and alcohol. Smoking is hazardous to your lungs and your stomach, and caffeine may also change your gastric acid and alcohol. Okay, some facts about the digestive system. The average person produces 2 pints of saliva every day, which is equivalent to 32 ounces or 2 cans of soda. Well, how are we producing this much saliva every day? Well, when you smell the aroma of your favorite meal, you say the phrase, "My mouth is watering," right? Their saliva is being produced, and when you're talking or when you're eating, their saliva is being produced. Your body can move your food through the digestive system even while you're standing on your head. It is not connected to gravity because it works with muscles. You know why? Because when you're standing on your head, your esophagus is still there, right? Then when you're making boluses, it goes down through your esophagus and to your stomach. Then this process keeps on going. Some of the enzymes found in laundry detergent are found in your digestive system. When I mean enzymes, I mean like very small molecules, atoms and nucleus. These are all in laundry detergent, right? These are also found in your digestive system by scientists. The surface area of the small intestine is around 240 meters, and that is about the size of a whole tennis court. Well, you're probably wondering, how is he saying that? Because we can't keep a big tennis court into our body, right? Well, how do we make a big string into a small ball? We roll them up, right? Or tangle them up, right? Well, that's the same because of the small intestine. The small intestine is tangled and it fits perfectly into your body. And thank you for watching my video, and please be sure to like and subscribe and comment to my channel. Thank you for your time.